How are you?
Yeah, man, I'm good. We'll talk through your
Yeah,
some of
yeah, yeah,
your warbler shots today, which should be which I'm sure would be interesting to loads of people over here because obviously we don't
yeah,
get
yeah,
much
yeah.
warblers and stuff. So
Yeah, you guys got the chiff chaffs and the friggin' what else is there? Like wood warbler,
wood
and
warbler,
they're pretty
chief
drab
chaff.
as a whole.
Yeah, I mean it's not
Yeah,
nothing too exciting. I mean when one of yours
yeah,
turns up over here, there's like 200 people that go and see it every
yeah,
day.
yeah. Yeah, but you guys got some good stuff as well. Some stuff that we don't have here. Those kingfishers, those are nice.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, do you get belted kingfisher where you are?
Yeah, but they don't look as nice as the common kingfisher.
Joking. Oh mate, that's the one that I want to see.
Really,
Yeah, I
I
want to
see those
see
all the time.
belted kingfish is the one I want to see. But I mean, it is what
Yeah,
it is, isn't it? I think you've got a little bit more in terms of what I was meant to go to Vancouver in August, but
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
just been cancelled. So I'm
Ah,
going next year instead. But do you actually live anywhere near Vancouver?
no, it's probably like a 8 hour plane ride. It's across the country. I'm near DC.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's a journey. Have you ever been up that way?
Yeah, I've been to Vancouver. It was really fun. Not for bird photography, just for a family trip.
Oh, nice. I mean, that's fair enough, though, isn't it? I mean, well, we'll crack on to it now, then, mate, if you want. I mean, we'll talk about your warblers and stuff. So do you want to give
Okay.
people like an overview of what you've been doing, what you've been photographing, how you've gone about it?
Yeah, sure. So I've been going out in the woods a lot, locally and kind of in the states near where I am, and going out. And what I do is I drive a road or I walk a path, and I just listen. And I have all the warbler songs and some of the songbird songs, the non-warbler birds,
Hmm.
uh, their vocalizations memorized, right? And I, just like a lot of birders can. I'm sure you've started or you're good at it already. I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
you can identify them by ear. And so you hear one, you stop, and if it's one I want to photograph, I'll try to find it, try to locate it, and see what I can get. So that's kind of what I've been doing for the past like 2 months. And if you go out enough, you can get some good warblers and eventually get some good shots.
What's your so
Yeah,
what's your favorite warbler to photograph? Because you have like I don't know if you live anywhere near Ray Hennessy,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah. I live near him. Yeah,
he did an Instagram video the other day and he was counting like 8 or 10 species of warblers in like one area.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the way it is here too. You can go out and I've had days where I've heard and seen like 20 species.
Man, that's
Um,
crazy. What is it with So what made you want to go and do all the warbler stuff? Because you've got such a variety of birds over there. What was it about the
yeah, yeah,
warblers
yeah.
that was like?
I don't know. They're just really really pretty. And as far as the songbirds that you see around my area, they're the prettiest. And the colors, the variation in plumage and feather
Yeah.
patterns, it's just stunning. So I just kind of set a goal, like I want to photograph all the warblers in my area, and actually a long term goal of mine is probably to photograph every warbler in the U.S. That's even possible to see on breeding
That's
territory.
crazy.
That's like a 5 6 year goal.
How many warbler
That's not gonna
species is
come
that?
quickly. I think there's about I think there's about 50, maybe like 55.
I mean,
I might not be right on that, but yeah,
that's a lot. That's a lot to try and do.
it's a lot. And I'm at 32 right now
Well, so you only
after
need
2 years of trying. But this is the best place in the U.S. to photograph on the east coast of the U.S.
so you need like
So
18 more.
what'd you say?
You only need 18 more species.
About, yeah, but those are the tough ones to get.
Like what's left then?
Um, the Vancouver area, there's about 6 that I haven't shot.
Mhm.
Southeast, if you can imagine, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I
have
can
another
picture
British
it.
friend, and
I
his
can picture
American
it.
geography is absolutely atrocious. So the Southwest, like Arizona, New Mexico,
Mhm.
there's about like another 8 species there that, or maybe like 5 8 species there that I haven't shot yet.
What's going to be the
And then there's a
hardest out of
couple.
those?
Got to do a trip out there, man. Gotta find those.
What's going to be the hardest out of the ones you've got left?
Um, Probably like the odd ones. Like there's Kirtland's warbler only found in Michigan. There's
All right.
golden cheek warbler that's only found in Texas, and there's Swainson's warbler that's like only found in like Georgia and like South Carolina and
Swainson's
whatever. So
warbler.
there's some ones that are super super like range specific that you
Yeah.
like literally would have to do one trip to go photograph one warbler, which I'm probably not going to be doing that anytime
I mean,
soon. So those are going to be the tough ones.
that's going to be a long way for you to go, isn't it? For the
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
is it even?
They're
It's not even
they're
guaranteed, is it? Or is it guaranteed?
if you go to right habitat, it's pretty much guaranteed if you go there. Yeah.
That's not too bad then. So it's like, so when you do find them, what's your
Mm.
process of like, how do you photograph them? Because over here,
Um.
all of our warblers are skulky. Yeah, they're either in the
Yeah,
tree
yeah, yeah.
canopy or they're in the bottom of these bushes, reeds, whatever. You just cannot photograph them at all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'll look for an area with a good kind of maybe low trees, or sometimes I photograph them on elevation.
Hmm.
So like I'll stand at the top of a ridge side and shoot down into the tops of the trees,
Nice.
so that I get eye level with them. That's kind of a technique that I've been using for the past couple of weeks when I've been in areas with elevation gradient,
Yeah.
and also like clear cut areas where the trees are short. And then occasionally I'll use a little playback, get them down a little bit. But I try to be judicious with it because it's
Yeah.
obviously not the best.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, but all those techniques, the elevation, the finding low trees where they're kind of getting low, and also using this technique that I'm going to post a photo in a couple days of a Canada warbler
Hmm.
that I actually used you do this probably like foreground bokeh and you shoot through.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
To be fair, I don't
and
think
then
I've
that's
used
that's
that a
kind of
lot.
how I get shots of that's kind of how I get shots of like skulkers, because you can kind of they don't have to be out on a nice open perch. You can kind of get
Shoot
them when
through.
they're in the middle of the bush and shoot through some stuff. So that's another thing. But yeah, it's tough. Like you can go for like a whole day trying to photograph like 10 various species and not get
Yeah.
a single shot
Yeah,
because
no, I can
sometimes
imagine.
they just don't give you a look.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, so what do you use to shoot on? What is your like equipment setup at the moment? What's in your bag?
In the bag, let's see. I got the Canon 70 Mark II. I'm a Canon guy.
Good. So am
I
I.
got the Canon 500 f4 version 2.
That's the same one as
Um,
me, isn't it?
it's a nice workhorse, and I got the let's see, I have a lightweight monopod,
Mhm.
and I have a monopod head.
Do
So I
you
like the monopod
do you
as
actually
opposed to a
like it?
tripod or handheld because it gives me that extra bit of stability without compromising like my ability to move left and right. Like if,
Yeah.
if there's a bird that flies across the path and goes to another perch, like a tripod is pretty gangly to turn and set up the legs. A monopod you can just shift like that pretty quickly. And also like if you're low light, monopod's like pretty good. I can shoot like a half hour after sunset
Yeah, to be
with
fair,
a monopod.
I don't really use tripods for that reason because I feel like,
Yeah,
when you're trying to, when you're photographing stuff like that, if I have more of like the pied flycatchers that I've been putting on my Instagram at the moment, I've used tripods for,
yeah,
but that's only because
yeah,
I know that I can sit in one place and roughly where they land is just in front of me. But I've
yeah,
never bothered with monopods because I always thought that they were a bit of like a waste of time almost.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
I recommend them a lot.
it's interesting, yeah, because it's interesting to hear you say that because a lot of people would say the opposite. I would imagine,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but I guess
And I don't use monopods for shorebirds and ducks because I'm getting low for those.
yeah,
But
yeah.
for songbirds, it's my go-to.
Really, that's interesting. That I mean, I'm I
Yeah,
might have to have a look into it. But as far as so do you only shoot on the 72, or do you have another body or any
yeah.
other
Just
lenses?
72. I have like an old intro camera that I'll use if the 72 ever breaks. But yeah, that's my main camera.
Hopefully it doesn't.
Yeah,
What are you so what are the photos that you've been trying to get? So instead of getting like, because a lot of yours is actually quite similar to how I like to photograph in terms that it's not all frame fillers. They're not all up
exactly.
close
Yeah.
personal. You quite like the on the tree stump out a bit, so you can kind of get a bit of a sense of the environment stuff. I like that. Like
Mhm.
that is the sort of photography that I like. But is
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
are you trying to create a varied portfolio for each species, or is there like a story you're trying to tell or something like that?
Yeah. Just you said it, man. Just the varied portfolio and trying to get something where not every shot is just like a in your face close up.
Yeah,
Where it's you look at the gallery and hopefully people are kind of their attention is held by the variety of shots and the kind of different compositions, small in frame, shoot through, smacking close up, some little environment, like, just kind of keeping it fresh. And
yeah.
you do the same with those pied fly catchers and all the other stuff. It's,
Hmm.
the better photographers are kind of starting to learn that just the same close-ups every time just kind of gets old after a bit. No offense to people who do that, right?
Yeah.
That's great, but I just have kind of learned from other people that a varied portfolio is sometimes a little more engaging.
Gives you a bit more of an advantage, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what? So we'll go to it then. So, what is your favorite image to date?
That Golden-Winged Warbler photo.
Yeah, that'll be on top of the video now. So that's
top of the list for the shots I've taken ever, probably. Golden-Winged Warbler. A little background on the Golden-Winged Warbler, since a lot of your viewers are probably going to be UK people.
So that is your favorite photo that you've taken?
Yeah.
Why though? What was it about that photo?
Because it's just a really hard bird to find. And they're quite rare. They're declining. They've declined like something like 70-80% since like 1980. They're like not doing so well. And I'd only ever seen one once before ever in my life. And they're super range restricted. So like even just seeing one is really awesome. And they're also just beautiful. That golden cap and the mask and the golden wings is great. And then on top of that, I was able to get it in like the ideal perch. Like I saw this little maple tree before I shot this bird, and I thought, wow, it'd be nice if he landed in that, right? And then next thing he does is he lands right in it and starts feeding, like foraging, gleaning for insects on the tree, and I'm like losing my mind. I'm just like blowing my shutter. And then I kind of moved a little bit midway through and got like a nice green background, buttery green background to showcase the feeding behavior. And it was just the perfect moment. So,
oh mate, that's so good. Yeah. What would you say is the best conditions to go and look for warblers?
Definitely overcast day.
Really?
Cloudy light. Yeah, I don't want sun for warblers. Wow. It's nice to go out and shoot in golden hour, right? Mm-hmm. But think about the amount of time that gives you to photograph the birds that you're photographing. It's like a half hour on either end, and the rest of the day, if it's sunny, you're just not doing anything because the light's too harsh to shoot in, harsh shadows, harsh highlights. But if it's overcast, you can get that flat light all day, and you can find them, all day, and find 5 different subjects to photograph and get a nice portfolio of them. Versus if you're on a sunny day, you have like that half-hour window of light to shoot, and then it's done. That's why that.
How do you go about editing then? Do you edit all the photos the same, or do you edit differently? So how did you edit that Golden-Winged Warbler photo?
I use Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Lightroom together, and so I uploaded it into Lightroom, and I did some just simple color contrast, saturation, hue stuff in Lightroom, and then I hopped into Photoshop and did a little bit of cloning on the bottom to remove a branch. That's about it. I didn't edit that one much. It was just like a nice moment where, sometimes you have photos like that where it's just like, you don't edit very much, and it's nice. But usually I'll do some like minor processing adjustments, like a little, like I mentioned, a little cloning, a little dodging and burning, a little color adjustment.
Like after, are you at university now, or are you?
I'm going to college next year.
What are you studying?
Probably bio.
Oh, that'd be quite interesting then. And what do you want to do after that then? Do you want to pursue a career in photography, or do you want to pursue a career somewhere else?
Not sure. I'm just not sure yet. Hopefully, the ideal position would be somewhere where I can be kind of into biology and maybe environmental science.
Yeah.
And kind of traveling somewhere where I can also kind of do photography on the side. Mm-hmm. But as far as like going full time on wildlife photography, it's a tough racket, and I might want to try to find another job first and keep it as a hobby. Yeah. And if that doesn't work out, we'll see what happens.
So, and what was it you were saying before about other subjects you photograph?
Definitely shorebirds. Let's see, I'm going to do a lot of that coming up in the next couple of weeks, and also later in August. Let's see, like dowitchers, black-bellied plovers, sandpipers, piping plovers, semi-palmated plovers, just all the stuff that we find. Yeah, that's the gray plover for you guys, Dunlin. I guess I'm just trying to remember the ones that you guys have as well.
Cool species.
Let's see, and like they migrate through the coast of the U.S., east coast of the U.S., and
Yeah,
they
well,
come
to be
down and they
fair,
stop in marshes and sand flats, and that's where you can find them.
yeah, because
So that's what we'll be
sometimes we
doing this
get.
summer.
I mean, we can wrap it up there, but I really appreciate you for doing this with me.
Yeah, thanks a lot for inviting me to do it.
No, mate, don't worry about it. It's just something nice and easy for people to watch and listen to, isn't it? I mean, I'm sure people will be interested. Especially people
Yeah,
from
nice.
my area, because you shoot a
Hmm.
completely different
Yeah,
subject. Ren. Obviously, all of this
yeah,
video will be stitched over with your photographs. So you if you send me the best ones, you've got an opportunity to put. I mean, I'm not
okay.
saying thousands and millions of people are going to watch this, but you'll get your opportunity to showcase some of your best images. You might as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. Well, we'll do that then. But yeah, thank you very much for coming on, and I'll drop you a message
Yeah,
later.
thanks a lot.
Thank you, mate. See you
Yeah, for
soon.
sure. I'll send you those, man.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.